Hello, wonderful people. Will here with another Will Thunder Talks video. Today, I'm going to talk about something a little different than I've really spoken about on the channel yet. So, before I jump into it, mountains of disclaimers, many disclaimers. I'm going to talk about fasting today, and please do not do what I do if you have medical conditions such as diabetes or other conditions where your variance in blood sugar significantly affects your condition. Do not do this. Consult your doctor. I am not a medical professional at any capacity. I am just a guy who felt like not eating for a couple days based on some interesting research that he saw that was applicable to people that do not have health conditions. If you have challenging relationship with eating, anorexia, bulimia or whatever, talk to your therapist or mental health professional. But as far as I'm aware, I do not have any of those conditions. That is the perspective I'm coming at this from today. So, fasting. Fasting is something that I used to do many years ago, as we're going to jump into it now. I went through a bout of doing fasting for a while back when I was in university because I have this real big interest in, I guess, changing how my brain works to see what outcome comes out of it. So I've historically done 72-hour fasts, 48-hour fasts. This time, I hadn't done a fast in a while, but I'd historically done quite a bit of intermittent fasting the past year or two. And I decided the other day, a few days ago, that I would do a 48-hour fast. So it's the first time I've done a 48-hour fast in a long time, okay? So I want to talk about this specifically because this is a 48-hour fast on Mounjaro. Never done a 48-hour fast on Mounjaro before, and it was kind of an interesting experience. So I started out the 48-hour fast. I started it as I've historically usually done, where I would eat a meal, I'd eat my last meal in the evening on one day, and then I would have a whole day of no food, and then I would have a whole nother day until the evening of no food. So how I experience fast often is I kind of get like waves of hunger, which I think are quite normal in fasts, where I feel like I'm hungry and I want to like eat something, but like it was different on Mounjaro, right? Because I feel in my fasts my like hunger signals are like very, very loud, right? Eat more, eat more, eat more, and then they kind of taper down over the experience of the fast. That's usually my experience, but this time it was really interesting that it was kind of like a really muted amount of hunger the whole time. It was like a consistent small hum in my head of like, oh, we're hungrier than usual, something's off, something's not quite right. And interestingly, when I'd had fasts previously, I would definitely get like bouts of exhaustion, bouts of fatigue, maybe a little bit of dizziness. And this time the dizziness and the fatigue was a lot more than usual, and my suspicion, not a medical professional, but my suspicion is that because of the GIP in the Mounjaro and the GLP, they both kind of push your blood sugars up and down, right? These chemicals were desperately trying to keep my blood sugars steady, and I think one of them was winning out of the other one, and the one that makes it go down was winning out. So I was like a lot tired and a lot cold. Which probably makes sense in hindsight, but I feel fasting for me gives me an interesting kind of bout of focus. So I have this like, it's one of the reasons I like intermittent fasting, to be honest, but I feel quite focused when I have like a certain period of time post eating. So if I eat like a lot of carbohydrates, I kind of get carved out, numbed out. I feel like my insulin response is spiking in my body, and I'm like, what's going on? Insulin is in here, and I feel sluggish, which is why I generally avoid sugar, for example, raw sugar, added sugar to things. It just makes me feel sluggish and slow and mentally lethargic. So when I'm fasting, I have periods of like bursts of energy where I'm like kacha-kapow, go, 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 do, think, right? And I made a bunch of like YouTube shorts and music, and I worked on my essay a bit. But it's interesting actually because I did two different kinds of work. So I did like creative work where I made YouTube shorts and made videos and music, and then there was another kind of aspect where I was trying to like write an essay, like a case review for school. So I felt like it was actually harder to write the case review because for me, I had to be more formally focused. I guess when I'm fasting, my mind can like grab onto a tangent and stay on a tangent and focus on there for a bit longer, right? That I'm like interested in. If there's passion in it and interest, I'm like zoned in and I'm like going and I'm smashing into the thing I want to do and I'm hyped and I'm excited. Whereas if it's something like I have to do, I feel like the hunger that comes up almost feels like a bit of an excuse, like I'm hungry, I don't have the energy to do this. I don't know if this is more psychological than physiological, but there's a lot more resistance anyway in understanding my motivations around doing the thing. So it was harder to write the essay, case review. I've done it now, but it's just a really interesting experience, I guess, in my fast, because I feel like there was almost more energy for things I wanted to do and less energy for things I didn't want to do, where the inversion has been kind of true lately in how I've been approaching life, creative stuff, and also the stuff I have to do. Housework, go to work for my day-to-day job, etc. Right? So it's a bit of an interesting kind of flip of that motivation, but also, you know, why did I even start fasting in the first place this time, you may ask? And I guess this time for me, I wanted to fast because I guess I was learning a bit about insulin resistance and being overweight and naturally having insulin resistance, and I guess the relationship ketones have with insulin. And I thought I used to do fasts for clearing my mind and kind of focusing in a bit more. Let's see if it can kind of shuffle my metabolism around a little bit. I guess, to be honest, part of it was a lot of people were saying that scientists and medical professionals that are not me, and you should go listen to them and their thoughts more. Not mine, I'm just a guy. You do what you want with this information, but apparently it helped with loose skin a little bit, and it also helped kind of keep consistent energy levels and have your body be taking from your like fat stores in a healthy way. But also it's very much resonated with my experience of fasting, where like I'm lethargic if I'm constantly eating. So I'm not really much of a grazer. I kind of like to leave it and kind of get sucked into something and not eat for a while and then let it taper out and balance out over time. In terms of my insulin spike that comes from food and level out. But yeah, fasting, would I do it again? Yes, actually. I think it really flushed me out in a really interesting way, helped me focus in ways I didn't think I could and would. And my body was kind of like a bit like, what are you doing at the time? But like afterwards now, I just feel cleaned out. I don't know if that's the right word. But my body certainly feels like it's had a repair session. I've been in the shop, I've had the body MOT. So glad I did it. We'll do it again, but probably once a month tops. Fasting. Those are my thoughts. You've been wonderful. I've been Will. Take care of yourself. You're cool. Appreciate you. You've watched this far in the video. Tell me what's your favorite dog in the comments. Love you. Take care.